Hey guys, so we just got home from church. It's Sunday. My house is a little messy in the background. It's because it's Sunday and getting 5 kids out the door for church and arriving mostly on time is no joke. So I did want to just go ahead and show you what I got from the grocery store before I put it away and before I try to straighten up. The last time I did a grocery haul, it was a delivery from Whole Foods. This time I went to Costco and a quick trip to Walmart. This week we didn't have a lot of extra money to be spending on groceries, so this is kind of like the bare minimum. I'm gonna tell you my meal plan in just a minute, as well as share about a new resource that's available on the blog, all about budget-friendly meals, tips to keep your grocery budget down, and that kind of thing. Let me just go ahead and show you what I got, tell you my meal plan, and share with you some frugal grocery menu planning tips. The first thing that I got from Costco is a box of Pellegrino water, and we actually got 2 of them because they were on sale for about $4.50 off. If you like sparkling water, this is a really good price, especially on sale. But even when they're not on sale, it's about $17 for 15 of these bottles. And my husband and I, we keep several in the fridge, and it's just a really nice drink. The next thing that I got, this was not planned, but I'm really glad that these were on sale because they're just a really easy snack for my kids. Now, I know they're not super healthy or anything like that. I'm not kidding myself with that, but they are still just a nice, easy snack. This is the coffee that we always get. This was also on sale for, I want to say, a little over $3 off. So I went ahead and grabbed a bag. We get whole bean coffee and then grind it and make it in our mocha pot. I also picked up a bag of this crumbled bacon. This lasts us a really long time. I guess a decently long time. I don't know. We really like to use it. And if you're thinking about wanting to stretch your grocery budget, having something like this on hand can be really convenient for when you're making like frittatas or scrambled eggs, if you're doing breakfast for dinner, or you want to make like loaded potatoes, baked potatoes, or just to toss on some soup. I have a recipe for garlic orzo pasta that you stir in bacon. So all that to say, this is $10 for this bag, and it's a really great deal. I picked up some tortilla chips. We love Costco tortilla chips, and we use them for a lot of different things. A couple of our meals this week, it's going to be nice to have tortilla chips on the side. This cheese is another item that I always like to get from Costco and have on hand. We probably go through a brick a week. This is 2 pounds for about $5 and change. I can look and see the exact price. But anyway, the price I checked at Walmart, and it was basically the same price. I thought about just picking it up at Walmart, but since it's already a cheap price at Costco, I just got it from there. I love these mushrooms. Again, if you're thinking about wanting to stretch your meat and work with more like meatless meals, having mushrooms on hand, you can chop them really finely and add them to dishes, and it really increases the kind of heartiness without adding a lot to the budget. I picked up some of these wild blueberries. Now, these are not organic. The organic ones from Costco are about $4 more, but they are pesticide free, and my kids really love them. So this entire bag, 5 pounds, was $10. So we'll keep these in the fridge and then have them just for snacks, add them to smoothies. And then one of my kids' favorite breakfasts is just homemade yogurt with honey and wild blueberries on top. I picked up some apples, and I usually will buy more than this for a week. But again, we were really kind of tight with our budget this week, so I got these from Costco, and they are organic gala apples, so those will go in the fridge. 3 gallons of milk. I looked at getting this at Walmart, but Costco actually had it cheaper, so this is just whole milk, and it is hormone-free. So one of these is going to be used to make yogurt immediately, and then the other 2 will go in the fridge. Okay, so that takes care of my Costco haul. Like I said, it wasn't that much, but with the 2 boxes of water, they were $13 each. And then the bacon and the coffee, those were both $10. All of that, the milks were less than $3. My Costco haul was, I think, like $90 today. And then moving on to Walmart, I got some rice cakes. We just like eating these with peanut butter, and then eggs. 2 dozen eggs, and we're gonna have breakfast for dinner one night. And then my 8-year-old and my 9-year-old like to make eggs during the week for their breakfasts. They pretty much make their own breakfast. I also got a big thing of peanuts from Walmart, and these are just lightly salted, dry roasted peanuts. These are good for snacking, but we also make our own peanut butter. And I know I could buy peanut butter, but honestly, I really like knowing what's in the peanut butter, but also homemade peanut butter just tastes so much better. So if possible, I like to make it myself. Okay, so this is another thing that usually I get from Costco, but I went ahead, instead of spending $6 on a box of 8, I spent $2 on 2. So it's actually a better price at Costco, but I was trying to spend less. So I got 2 cans of diced tomatoes, and we're gonna use those this week. And then this is something that I don't usually buy, but my mother-in-law makes these like garlic green beans on the stove. And the only way to truly replicate them is with this type of green bean in the can. I don't know. I don't buy a lot of canned vegetables, but I know that my family will be happy if I make Cece's green beans this week. So that's what I'm going to do. We're having pork chops one day this week, and I'm going to make green beans and mashed potatoes to go with it. So besides the bacon, I didn't buy any meat because I already have enough on hand. I've got a couple pounds of ground beef, a little bit of chicken, and things like that already in the freezer. So I wanted to make my meal plan based on what we had on hand. So I'm gonna go ahead, turn the camera back around and show you my meal plan, and then wrap all of this up by just sharing a few little grocery tips, budget tips, meal planning specifically, and tell you about what's new on the blog. Okay, so here are our meals for the week. Lunch is on this side and dinner's on this side. We are going to have creamy tomato soup, and I already made that. That's in my fridge, so that's going to be really easy. And then grilled cheese sandwiches. The next day I have peanut butter and jelly, fruit and chips. Tuesdays are usually one of the days that we do our wild and free play dates, so I try to make Mommy. I try to make Tuesdays a lunch that we can easily take along with us. Wednesdays, loaded baked potatoes. Thursday, leftover or snacky lunch, depending on what everybody wants. Friday, chicken salsa soup. This is an Instant Pot recipe, and as always, I'll have all the links down below. Saturday, leftovers or snacky. And then our dinners, just like I shared last week, we're doing at least one meatless meal a week and breakfast for dinner one day a week. So tonight we're going to have cinnamon raisin bread pudding. That's a recipe that you make it in the Instant Pot, and that is from my cookbook. And then we already have some breakfast sausage on hand, so we'll just cook that up and make some eggs. Tomorrow night, I'm going to use my enchilada recipe that I love, and I'm going to make it with a mix of black beans and pinto beans. I already have corn tortillas on hand. I made a really big batch of chicken stock, and so it'll be really easy to make my own enchilada sauce and whip that up. And then the next night, we're going to have white chicken chili. I have a little bit of whole chicken, like white meat and dark meat on hand. So I'm going to use that as well as one chicken breast from the freezer. And then I'll make a pan of skillet cornbread to go along with that. Let's see. Wednesday night, freezer chicken pot pie. This is already made up. The only thing that I need to do is make the pie dough that will go on top of it. Okay, Thursday, pork chops. My husband bought a bunch of pork chops a week or two ago and froze them. He found them on a really good sale, so we have those already. I need to get some collards at some point this week. Or actually, so I wrote down collards. I bought the green beans, so I'll probably skip collards this time. We'll have pork chops, those green beans I told you about, and then mashed potato. Friday is Valentine's Day. My husband is at least going to be out. I know this sounds really bad. We have concert tickets, and it's kind of up in the air whether we're going to go together or if he's just going to be able to go. But I wrote down cheese pizzas, so that'll be an easy dinner that my kids really like on Friday night. And then Saturday, I'm going to make pasta. May or may not be fresh, and I'm going to make meatballs. This is a recipe that I've shared a couple of times now on Instagram, and people keep asking me to share it, so I need to make it one more time and make sure I get pictures and everything like that. So that's what we're having on Saturday night. Okay, guys, so it's been about a week since I recorded that grocery haul. But this week kind of got away from me, but I did still want to wrap up this video telling you about a new resource that's available on the blog. I put a lot of work into this resource because I really believe in it, and I think that it can be a really helpful and useful resource, not only for me, but also for a lot of other people. So it's available for free on the blog, and I'm gonna give you a peek at it in just a minute. But first, I wanted to share just 5 quick ways to save money on your grocery budget. My first quick tip to saving money on your grocery budget is really just simple. You've heard it said a million times before, and it's just a meal plan. You can meal plan for a week, you can meal plan for 2 weeks or a month, but it really makes a huge difference. Not only on just making your week go a little bit more smoothly, but also in making sure that you are avoiding extra trips to the grocery store or buying food that you're not going to end up using that could potentially be wasted. Also, being able to sit down and come up with a meal plan also gives you the chance to think about other ways to maybe repurpose your leftovers, to prep food at the beginning of the week, and again, just make your week go a lot more smoothly. You can make your meal plan from this list. I also have another one on the blog that's an easy dinner ideas list. So if you struggle with meal planning, coming up with meal ideas, these are 2 resources that could really be helpful. Okay, so that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 to save money on your groceries is to prep food at the beginning of the week, specifically to cook a bunch of meat. And I'm talking about like buying a whole chicken or 2 whole chickens, roasting them or baking them, cooking them in your Instant Pot at the beginning of the week, and then being able to make use of that meat for your meals the rest of the week. It's going to save you on time it takes to prep your meals, and it's also going to save you on the amount of money that you're spending on meat. Another way you can do that is by cooking a whole bunch of ground beef at the beginning of the week and then using it for nachos, for spaghetti, for chili, lots of different ideas. And both of those are on this frugal meal plan or frugal dinner ideas list. So that's tip number 2 for saving money on your grocery budget. Tip number 3, and this is something that I am trying to implement right now on my weekly meal plans, and that is to have 1 meatless meal a week and 1 meal where we just do breakfast for dinner, which my husband and I are doing intermittent fasting, so we don't usually eat breakfast anyway, so it's still a nice occasion for us to have some of our favorite breakfast food. So obviously eggs are a lot cheaper than other proteins, so it's easy to have that as just a really simple meal. Also, breakfast for dinner is usually a big hit with the whole family. A lot of the time I will, if my husband is going to be out of the house, I'll make breakfast for dinner on that night because I know that it's going to be easy to prepare and my kids are going to love it. So I usually try to do some type of egg, either an egg casserole or just scrambled eggs, something like that, maybe a frittata, and then breakfast meat either worked in the egg casserole or as a side. That's a little less frequent. It's easier and less expensive to use a little bit less breakfast meat and incorporate it into whatever else you're making. And then usually some type of vegetable, either like greens in my frittata or okay, so my battery just died, but I think I was just talking about how we do breakfast for dinner. Okay, so that was the first 3 tips. The next tip that I find is just really helpful, not only for saving money, but also just for making my meals really simple, is to focus on some frugal vegetables that I always have on stock and that don't have a tendency to go bad, but that can be used in a lot of different ways. Onions, carrots, greens, potatoes, garlic. We always have peas and corn in the freezer. You keep those on hand. There's so many different ways to use them. And especially if you're trying to save money on your grocery bill and use less meat, then you're gonna wanna use more of these vegetables, more mushrooms, more carrots, things like that that are heartier and are gonna still fill your family up even if you're using a little bit less meat. Okay, and the final tip that I'm gonna share tonight in this video is just to try to make things that are
inexpensive.
Yeah. I just can't get the words out. I don't know if it's because you're like...
I think it don't cost a lot.
Okay, my last tip for this video, my husband's laughing at me because I can't get my words out, so I'm kind of laughing too. My brain is fried. This isn't the only, all of the tips on this list, but it's the last one I'm going to share for this video. And it's just to make your own sauces, dips, stocks, things like that. If you make your own, you're going to save a lot of money on your grocery bill. And generally, once you get into the swing of things and you get into a routine of being able to make some of these things in a larger quantity and then either freeze or can the extras, you're going to be able to save a lot of money on your grocery budget. Plus, of course, with all of these things like stocks and dressings and sauces and whatnot, you have the extra added benefit of knowing exactly what's in your food. So not only are you saving money, not only does it taste better, but you are avoiding some of the extra additives and preservatives that, and sugar, not to mention. Save money, make it yourself. If you have any questions or need some recipe links, I will leave them down below. Let me go ahead and give you a peek at the blog post, and you can find this down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, found it helpful. Sorry if it was a little disjointed, but anyway, I'm so glad that you guys are here. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.
I was never the one to write up a song for just anyone. I was always the one to find myself lost in old conversations. Oh, 'cause I've always been told that things will unfold if you keep on waiting. But then you came along and proved me all wrong. I was so mistaken, 'cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.